Even if you have the same person giving you the advice, my advice to you in Santa Rosa County at $500,000 is going to be different for you than if I'm advising you at $500,000 in Escambia County. Why? Because those prices are slightly different. Hello, Shane Willis, Pensacola real estate expert, bringing you today's episode. Just got finished writing up something said, depending on the price, you're going to need advice. If you watched yesterday's show, How's the Market, Pensacola, I really talked about different price points. I do that every week. But really, depending on the price, you're going to have different advice. Even if you have the same person giving you the advice, my advice to you in Santa Rosa County at $500,000 is going to be different for you than if I'm advising you at $500,000 in Escambia County. Why? Because those prices are slightly different. But nationally, they break those down into actually three categories. The first one is a starter. All right, in our area, it's about under 200. Some would argue it's under 250. But again, I'm just going to bring up Santa Rosa County. You can go back and watch the show and see Escambia County as well. But Santa Rosa County, anything under 500 has under 3 months worth of inventory, which makes it a hyper seller's market. Nationally, anything under 200 is closer to 2 or 3 months worth of inventory. So that's where things are. That's why first-time homebuyers are having such a trouble finding something they can move into. All right. That's why I continue to preach. I think we're going to see renovation loans continue. That's about the only ones that we can find where you can roll in the renovation into the loan. All right. And that's huge, especially because of those price points. We're just tough to find things. So, of course, a starter home out there in San Francisco is totally different than in our area. But starter homes under 3 months. Now, when you look at some of the other, and I'm looking at my notes right now. Oh, I forgot. This was from the National Association of Realtors. It says the desire for affordability continues to push down the inventory for homes listed for less than $200,000. And that's true in both counties. You talk about Escambia or Santa Rosa County, that's true. All right, middle home market, that's the segment of thought up as move up. So basically people are saying, all right, it's not my first home, we're going to move up. Now what they do with that first home, some will sell it, some will turn around and become a landlord. And that's fine, there's some criteria there. But across the country, this is a slightly higher price. So we're going to say $2 to say $450. That's probably a good price point for there. And they say across the country, this is closer to a neutral market. 6 months. 6 months inventory. But as you just remembered, I told you in Santa Rosa County, anything under $500,000 is still a hyper sellers. Hyper sellers, not just a sellers, but a hyper sellers. And anything under $450 in Escambia County is still a sellers. Not necessarily a hyper sellers, but still a sellers. So that's how we differ a little bit from the national news. I try and give you both of them. I try and give you the national stuff so you can get a good 30,000 foot macro view of this stuff. But I also want you to pay attention to what's happening here locally. So even the move up market here is a sellers, which still changes my advice. Again, if you go from a hyper sellers to a seller, it changes my advice. It changes how you should market. It changes how you should strategize. It changes how you should differentiate. How much do you need to differentiate? And then your luxury, your premium and luxury. It's grown about 4.7%, but honestly, across the country, that's more of a buyer's market. In Santa Rosa County, it's about a neutral, slight buyers. You start getting luxury in Escambia County, 700,000 plus. We've almost got a year's inventory, so that's a buyer's market. So again, I can't give you a generic cookie cutter marketing plan. It says this is what I do with every property. There are some things I do with every property, like I'm going to hire a professional photographer for every property. All right. But my marketing strategy is going to change. I'm not going to look to market to certain areas of Cantonment for the ultra luxury of Pensacola Beach. No, I know that most of the people that buy there are vacationers. If I get out at Perdido Key, I get to Buena Vista, I get to some of those others. It's Orange Beach, Gulf Shores. I know most of those that own don't live there. So my marketing strategy needs to change. I need to be marketing to Atlanta or Birmingham or Nashville or Chattanooga. Whereas if I'm looking to get someone in a school they really want, or there's a highly desirable school, much lower price point, then I'm going to be marketing here. That's just one aspect of how I'm going to change. So according to price points, my advice to you is going to change, but you're going to need different advice regardless of who you talk to. Okay. It's just different. It's just different. All right, that's all I got for you today. As always, if you hadn't subscribed to get the tips, tricks, graphs, infographics, get over to 5minutesinrealestate.com. That's 5minutesinrealestate.com. Also, shameless plug, get over to the Facebook page. I'm doing a lot over there. Facebook.com/Shane Willis, the Realtor. If you are listening to this, or even if you're watching it on YouTube, Facebook, what have you, I put links to the show notes along with some of the graphs and some of the information from this show. So the first link I always put in there is to just the show notes. And then I give you a couple of links for a few reports. Anyways, thanks for listening. Have a great Tuesday.